So my little journey with experiment with morning glory seeds. I took about 150 of them, which they're from what I researched, they're about like 10 10 micrograms, which 1,000 of those is 1 milligram, and shit. Well, the only thing I noticed, like, it's not really. I think you gotta take like probably 2 or 300, but there's a risk there because there's a chance that they could be coated in mercury, which was something kind of like there was the whole drug war and the CIA. Like it just got to really dark research. Like it's like, oh, okay, I'll research morning glory seeds because I heard that like there's a chemical that's related to acid, and then it's like, well, I'll be aware because they like, oh, there was people here using them as like a hallucinogen, whatever, to simulate LSD. So they put mercury, and then there was like all these like related thousands of mercury poisonings, and then you look up the actual chemical that's in the morning glory seeds. It's like, well, yeah, it can make you nauseous, whatever, but it's not going to kill you. And you look up LSD, and it's like, oh, it's yeah, mostly a positive thing, and it's by far like it's hard to it's not as bad as fucking alcohol. Alcohol is far worse. The weirdest thing is like adjusting to the light when I'm outside. I go from there's a lot of light, and I go inside. There's like this weird like sort of flicker. My head feels like a little loopy, but it's like nothing like there's a major deal. Like I do want to try like a smaller amount. I didn't want to like overdo it the first time because I had no idea if they had like mercury on them or whatnot. And then of course, like looking into LSD, you can't like evade the fucking uh what happened with MK Ultra, or it's the government or whatever. CIA is like, well, people can use this to like spiritually develop themselves and to get ideas, but we can't use it to manipulate people necessarily. So this stuff has to be banned. All research on it has to be banned because of course, government wants to like kill God unless like they can like co-opt the whole religious movement. But it just got like really dark, really really fast. Like, because I'm gonna like look this shit up before I do it and try to understand it. And then like the mercury is also a contaminant that gets like in the soil, and so I'm just trying to give like the pertinent facts of because it's not like like I did acid the first time. I didn't really know what to make of the experience. I would say it was a good trip, but it wasn't a bad trip. It was a trip that like it helped me understand shit and helped me like figure out where I was in my life. But it wasn't like, oh, fun colors. And then the second time I did acid, it's only done I've done it twice in my entire life. It's very hard to find or obtain. Uh, the second time was a lot more exciting. I'd done it before, so I had a little better experience of like, okay, this is what to expect, and I was able to use it much more positively. I still have some memories from that time of like, okay, this is like how I want to like look at myself or see myself, whatnot, the directions I want to go in. Um, and actually, like really, like, I like sort of unhinged feeling, which yeah, I've become a lot more unhinged because I'm like, I'm not gonna sit there and live in fear, like, oh, I researched this might be a bad thing, blah 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 blah, like, so I'm not even gonna try it, blah, blah, like I just fucking like I did my research and then I was like, okay, calculated risk. I looked up the symptoms for like mercury poison. It's fucking bad. Like kids all hands all like it gives you brain damage. It lowers IQ. It's especially bad if you're pregnant to the fetus or not. So like I it probably fucks me up because Andrew Tate's like, oh, and Hamza and all these other influencers are like, oh, everybody could be 100%. Everybody could be 100%. It's like the world is stupider than what it was. Like objectively, like maybe we know more science, but we don't know. We don't have like logic and this sort of shit. It's and there's scientific evidence to show that IQ points have dropped, whatever, because we have so much fucking lead in our systems for like the fucking 50 years, I forget what it was, or however long, 30 years, people were like using leaded gasoline, and the guy's like, "Oh, this stuff's great." Like, see, I'll even take a sip, like a fake sip or whatever, and it's just that one time that he don't ever go around the shit ever again, but he knows damn well people are constantly getting it in their systems. So objectively, people are stupider, and it's not even their own fault. It's just because of the chemicals they put in shit. But then they tell us what chemicals we can't put in our bodies. I can't experiment with. Of course, you got to get the jabby thing. Uh, Load up on those. 4, 5, 6. Get your boosters. But under no circumstances I ever try morning glory seeds because the mercury, which it's illegal to put it on the seeds now. They made it legal after it like sort of backfired, but they also made it so that if you do, you don't have to say anything. You just know, like, so it was a bit of a risk. And then I found out there's like, oh, what is it, bio availability and bio something. I know it takes about like 50 days if the mercury whatnot to degrade out of your system. So this isn't an experiment I would try again for like the next couple months. But also it wasn't like that great of a. I kind of got a headache and stuff. I learned a little bit about different ways to extract like make it into a tea, whatever. You could remove the husks of the seeds because there's a little bit of nausea, a little bit, like, there's a little bit of a headache, which I find annoying. But I'm not one of those people who just likes to like get high and zone out, and like I could be like, yeah, I'm so nauseous right now, but like the colors, like I get like to get up and do shit. And that's like one of the things about acid. It it made me a lot more active and stuff. Like I felt like my nerves were like really sped up. Like the neural connections were. At the same time, though, the other people doing it were like, "Oh, look at the colors! Look at the colors!" I wanted to go out and run and stuff. Like I wanted to, move around. I didn't see no colors, but my brain isn't very activated to visual stimuli because I need glasses, and like all this looks like a blur to me. This is like blurs of green with little like gray brown lines. So I'm not like gonna do certain things and just see a whole bunch of fucking colors. Probably it's gonna affect me in other ways. Uh this is sort of unplanned. I was like, man, should I even post a video like this? But my battery's running out, and I figured, fuck it, why not? While I got some daylight. Definitely do your own research. There's all sorts of different varieties of morning glory. I guess there's only a couple of them that have the acid in them that is close to LSD, but and those are the ones I happen to have. I also planted some because that's actually why I got them. It's just sort of an off thing. Like I don't have any cash for weed or anything like that. And I ain't smoked in a few days. I was like, I sure as shit don't want to fucking like. I got enough money for some alcohol. I can go buy a fucking little fucking thing of vodka, but like I don't. That would make me a lot more sicker in the long run. I think it's not an enjoyable experience. Like every once in a blue moon, I'll have some alcohol. But yeah, I took the morning glory seeds about 3 hours ago. It's really passing the time. I kind of want to sleep it off, but it seems like kind of a waste. Uh, yeah, I'm just trying to. I try to start like people are gonna want to see like, oh yeah, this is that. I just sort of like I didn't have no script coming to this. I'm just trying to remember the shit that I read. Eventually, I might like if I really want to go into the deep dark of it, I just do like a screenshot video of like the research of this and that, and just how quickly it goes from like, oh, these are these pretty flowers to oh yeah, the CIA like specifically doesn't want you to fucking have a spiritual experience or anything like that. They want, no antidepressants and all that. And they look for like mixes with drugs. They don't interact too well, so I guess this stuff does not interact very well with antidepressants. Surprise, surprise. Like they fucking basically this antidepressants hijack your fucking serotonin and dopamine systems. Uh, but yeah, I mean, LSD is a fun thing to research. It's very promising, but also very dark for the way it's been suppressed. And I mean, I guess I would have had to take a higher dose of the morning glory seeds to have the like full on effect of whatever the fuck people are expecting. However, I'd also probably be too nauseous to deal with the video or whatever. I'd probably like. I had a friend. He was like, "Oh yeah, take these. I forgot what it is. It's like dimorphan or whatever. It's over the counter. Like you can like drug companies are making a fuck ton of money off this shit that's sold over the counter, but it's basically like a hallucinogenic, whatever. You just gotta take like 12 pills or whatever, because I take a few, I don't feel shit. I took a bunch and it was just like, like no, like stay the fuck away from me. I'm fucking sick now. Like I don't even like most drugs. I really don't. I have a very, very specific standards for drugs as far as like what helps me and what doesn't. And there's just a lot of frustration because I always see people like people who I respect too, like say Tristan Tate. I really like him even more so than Andrew Tate. But he's always like, yeah, there's the psychos on the streets, there's drugs flooding the streets. But it's not like that. It's more so people are just homeless or they're desperate or they're alcoholics, which there's like a lot of this thing of like, oh, I can smoke tobacco and I could drink and that's all fine, but nothing else is okay. When a lot of the people causing problems on the streets are alcoholics. I mean, I've seen some pretty bad shit too from people feeding from cigarettes. Everybody's worried about getting stabbed by a crackhead. Well, you might get stabbed by someone who's just like who really wants to smoke. They're like, "Hey man, can I bum a smoke?" You're like, "No, get the fuck away from me, bum!" And then they fucking just snap. And it's not necessarily because of cigarette either. It's just because all the things fucking added up, and then like someone comes to your aid and they start like choking him out, and then he dies. So yeah, this is a fun take on morning glory. It, it's like I'm trying to garden and stuff. So I got all this land, which whatever. If I garden it, then it's good. So I'm just trying to do like some basic, research. I know I plant this. I'm gonna research that. Like I research like sunflowers, and it's just like they help pull like lead and all that stuff out of the ground. That's good. But then you find out like like half the production is in like fucking Ukraine and Russia, and there's like there's just so much wrong with industrial society. Uh, yeah, and I got a bunch. I got like 50 fucking things on my mind or brain. So it makes it hard to do a video this way or that way. At this point, I'm just sort of like rambling on the regular facts or the regular fucking whatever comes to my mind that's just random, but it's somewhat related to nature and the chemicals, the natural chemicals nature provides that the powers that be absolutely do not want you to harness for yourself. Uh, sorry the sorry that the trip wasn't exactly all that it's cracked up to be. I mean, so yeah, there's about 10 micrograms in each seed. So 150 of them is about 1.5 milligrams. And it's like takes 2 to 4. But I really didn't want to. I swallowed half the seeds. I chewed the rest. Like, whatever, I tried it. I still haven't tried nutmeg. Nutmeg's supposed to be a big deal. I'm just not really like that eager to like. I've had too much experience with alcohol and how that makes me nauseous. Like drugs that make me nauseous. I just they don't sit with me well. That's alcohol, tobacco, to a mild extent. These uh, definitely over the counter stuff. Just I mean, I don't know what else there is there to say about my videos, all that. Yeah, I'm trying to put something out, seem relevant and timely, and it won't be so relevant and timely by tomorrow. Phone's like at like 20 something percent, so I guess I'm gonna get a nice little phone detox for a little bit. I was trying to lay down. I got a bit of a headache. That's about it.